Coming up, live updates from the biggest storm of the year, Hurricane Melissa.
A bad grade raises questions at Iowa. Do students have freedom of speech on campus?
Fight to stay on the field, the sacrifices it takes to be a Division I athlete.
From cool breezes to cloudy skies, rain takes a break in Iowa City. I'll have your full forecast coming up.
All that and more
coming up right now on DITV.
Good morning from Iowa City. It is Wednesday, October 29th. I'm Grace Lathrop.
And I'm Annika Perez. And the third member of our team, Camila Munez, is live outside to tell us today's weather story.
Cami, what's it looking like out there right now?
Grace and Annika, I'm here outside the Adler Journalism Building where it is currently a cool 45 degrees across Iowa City this morning. Taking a look at the Pentacrest, it's going to reach a high in the upper 50s with a few clouds from time to time. Expect a slight chance of rain throughout the day. At night, temps will drop to the low 30s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies in the morning will give way to cloudy skies during the afternoon with a high in the mid 50s and a low in the upper 30s. However, it looks like the rain in Iowa City will be taking a pause this Thursday. Speaking of rain, right now, there's the biggest storm of the year happening. DITV's Liz Schultz is currently live inside the studio with the latest update on how this is impacting Iowans and Jamaica. Liz, what can you tell us about this major weather event?
Well, Camila, Hurricane Melissa has now made its way from Jamaica and is taking on Cuba. It started as a Category 5 hurricane yesterday when it touched land in Jamaica, but it's now making its way up this morning. It went from a Category 3 down to a Category 2. You can see here on our live feed the eye of the storm. It is massive. It is surrounded by violent winds and rain bands, and it's moving quickly. It is the most dangerous hurricane of the season, but it is now slowing down, and its damage continues as it's continuing making its way up north. Officials are warning anyone in its path to take precautions. But it is not just Jamaica and Cuba residents feeling the effects. I spoke with an Iowa couple celebrating their anniversary, and they are right in the middle of it. This is Hurricane Melissa, what started as a Category 5 hurricane hitting land in Jamaica. That's where Iowans Tony and Christina Malshody have been stranded on their 10-year anniversary vacation.
We're still dealing with all the wind and the rain, and apparently we will be for the next couple of days, so we're not sure how we're going to get to the airport, if we're even going to have a flight. We were supposed to leave today. Obviously, that is not happening.
The couple says their hotel is safe, but roads are flooded and airports are closed, leaving them trapped until the storm passes.
And then, we're locked down on our room as of 8 o'clock last night. We're not allowed to leave. They did bring us our food rations for today. They bought that last night. Going forward, we don't know what their plan is.
Across Jamaica, thousands are without power and at least 7 lives have been lost. Officials say recovery efforts could take days. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is calling Melissa one of the most dangerous hurricanes in history.
I don't believe there is any infrastructure within this region that could withstand a Category 5 storm.
But through it all, Tony and Christina say they're staying positive about the unexpected turn in their vacation, and they can't wait to head home when the storm passes.
Hey, we're making memories.
Yeah, we're making memories. It is what it is. We're safe. We're alive. We hopefully at some point will get to go home and see our kids and grandkids.
Well, a very scary situation, but we're glad to hear that they're doing okay. And last I checked in with them, they are doing okay, but Hurricane Melissa has caused catastrophic damage. And as I said, it is expected to weaken as it continues on that northern path past Cuba. However, travel delays could last a while.
Yeah, definitely a scary situation, Liz. And have you heard from them today at all?
I did text them this morning. I reached out. I've not yet heard back, but last I heard, they're feeling a little bit more calmed down with everything going on. Really glad to hear they're doing okay. I mean, celebrating your 10-year anniversary with these conditions, just totally unexpected, but really glad to hear that they're doing okay.
Yeah, definitely not ideal. We are definitely thinking about them, and hopefully they can return
Absolutely.
here soon,
Right.
safe.
Mm-hmm.
But on a different note, the Iowa City Police Department is looking for 2 people of interest that may have information about a recent assault. Detectives are asking the public for assistance in identifying the people on your screen. Officers were notified of the incident occurring on the 10th block of Gilbert Street in the early hours of October 19th. This incident resulted in the victim having serious injuries. Anyone with information can contact the ICPD at the number on your screen. Additionally, if you have information about the incident that results in an arrest, the Iowa City Police Department are offering a reward of up to $1,000. And the Iowa City Bar Fieldhouse has made its return. The bar was originally located in the Penn Mall where Hazards is now and has moved to 138 South Clinton Street on the main street of downtown. The new Fieldhouse will be about twice as large as the previous location with a few additions like a second floor, also including new ownership and atmosphere. But due to some unexpected last-minute issues, the opening has been postponed to next week. Fieldhouse has not yet set a new date for the opening, but you can stay tuned for the information on their Instagram at Fieldhouse Iowa City. And Iowa City City Council voted to move forward with the project to help animals.
And this is an ongoing proposition that has been on the table for months now, but it is finally seeing some momentum.
That's right, and DITV's Ryan Lynch is live outside the Iowa City Animal Care and Adoption Center with their plans for expansion.
That's right, and I'm live at the Iowa City Animal Care and Adoption Center just off of Gilbert Street. And as you guys mentioned, these renovations have been in the works for some time. Recently, the Iowa City City Council opened up bids for construction companies to compete for the construction project. The shelter will add around 1,400 square feet at the southern end of the facility. The new space will be a multi-purpose space used mostly for dog training. The addition may also serve as overflow for housing sick animals, animal hoarding cases, and puppy mill rescue missions. The center rescued 131 puppies from puppy mills in September of 2023 and had limited space for those dogs. The entire cost of this project will be covered by the Friends of the Animal Center Foundation. This organization supports the Iowa City Animal Care and Adoption Center by raising funds to help the center with money. Friends of the Animal Center also works to further animal initiatives in Iowa City. And the Iowa City City Council voted unanimously at their most recent City Council meeting to move forward with the project. And Iowa City hopes that a company will be contracted by year's end so that the project can be completed by spring of next year. Live from the Iowa City Animal Care and Adoption Center, Ryan Lynch, DITV.
Well, thanks, Ryan. And the University of Iowa received a shockingly poor grade on a rather important topic, freedom of expression. DITV's Morgan Burhans took a deep dive into free speech at Iowa.
The Foundation of Individuals' Rights and Expression, or FIRE, aims to sustain free speech on college campuses. The University of Iowa's D- speech climate grade raises concern for the speech restrictions on campus.
College is supposed to be a place for open discussion and gaining new perspectives. But is this possible at the University of Iowa without receiving pushback?
Fear of backlash or judgment can silence important conversations. For many students, it feels like their free speech is stripped on campus.
Sure, I'm allowed to say what I want here at Iowa and also in America for that matter, but the problem is what conflict comes of that.
As the days go on, sometimes I kind of wonder what I can and cannot say.
There have been many instances on campus where students have been criticized or silenced for sharing their opinions.
Benny Johnson came to town. He's a famous conservative. He came to speak at the IMU, and there was a guy that came and literally roundhouse kicked the projector.
As the semester went on last semester, we just saw more and more posters every single day come down.
In fact, just this week, a political organization's table was flipped at the T.N. Clary walkway. This moment reignites the debate over if freedom of expression is truly present at Iowa. College is supposed to be a marketplace of ideas for promoting open dialogue, but for many students, that is challenged when conversation turns into conflict and violence.
I wish that people were more civil could have hearty disagreements about policies and things like that. That tends not to happen.
We all need to be having conversations instead of more conflict.
But it is difficult to have open conversations in the classroom when speaking up is scary for students.
In the classroom, like, we're having this dialogue, and like, I don't want to be shut down for my opinions. So I'm like, well, maybe I shouldn't say that word or use that expression.
I have had students privately come talk to me who've said that they didn't feel like they could share something.
Though students believe this isn't all the administration's fault, the Board of Regents and student body hold a heavy weight on this D- grade.
It's about the student body, and it's about the hostile environment that has been created by people here on campus.
Some of the things are out of the university's hands. Like, I mean, the Board of Regents does play a big role, and there is a lot of rules that they have to follow because they're a public school.
At the end of the day, compared to other college campuses, Iowa isn't looking too bad.
Iowa, I think, does a really good job of allowing for freedom of expression. That's different from students who are being intolerant against a point of view that they disagree with.
At the end of the day, the University of Iowa may do a good job promoting free speech, but the student body does not allow open discussion without conflict. From Iowa City, Morgan Burhans, DITV.
A ceasefire comes to an end in the Middle East.
DITV's James O'Connor is live in the newsroom. James, what's happening in the Middle East?
Grace and Annika, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered missile strikes in Gaza on Tuesday.
What are these attacks?
Well, the Israeli government claimed Hamas violated the ceasefire agreement from earlier this month by firing on Israeli forces and not returning the bodies of dead hostages. The Prime Minister's office released a statement announcing the decision to swiftly carry out the strikes on the Gaza Strip. Israel informed President Trump before the strikes were fired. Hamas denied attacking Israeli forces and said they remain committed to the ceasefire, also saying they're working to recover bodies and claim Israel violated the agreement. Switching over to Iowa, another candidate throws his name in the hat for governor. Republican District 4 Representative Randy Feenstra launched his campaign yesterday. Feenstra says he will, quote, work with President Trump to advance the American First agenda in Iowa. Other candidates include Democratic State Auditor Rob Sand, who announced his bid for the seat in May. Democrat Julie Stotch announced her intention to join the race, and Republican Adam Steen also said he will be running for governor. The election takes place November of next year. And in other Iowa news, a lawsuit was filed against the state claiming a new Iowa law unconstitutional. The law in question changes the way counties with regent universities elect their board of supervisors. These counties will split into 5 districts and elect 1 supervisor each. Prior to this law, each supervisor was voted on by county residents. The suit claims the forced redistricting of the county is in violation of the voters' rights and will diminish overall voting power. They say the voters would have 1/5 of the power they have now, since they would be restricted to 1 member only. They are seeking a preliminary injunction which would stop state officials from creating the districts. The plaintiffs are hoping the lawsuit moves quickly, since all of Johnson County's Board of Supervisors will be on the ballot in 2026. The supervisors are currently looking for a way to identify an appropriate way to move forward. That's all the time I have. So for now, back to Grace and Annika at the desk.
Well, thanks. And as you guys may know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and as the month comes to an end, the organization Breast Friends is partnering up with Pin Seekers to raise a little more money for treatment. Team Breast Friends, a nonprofit breast cancer foundation, partnered up with Pin Seekers last weekend to raise funds for mammograms and other diagnostic treatments. The fundraiser was a competition featuring teams of 4 to compete in an 18-hole best shot game. Tyler Carlson, the director of events at Pin Seekers, says they really want to focus on boosting the community by sponsoring nonprofit organizations like Breast Friends.
Our partnership really kicked off with sponsoring their golf outing at, I believe, Pleasant Valley Golf Course over the summer. And really just tried to partner again with hosting a four-person bet shot here at Pin Seekers to see if we could raise some additional funds for the organization.
And if you're interested in getting involved but don't know where to start, Deb Larson, one of the founders of Breast Friends, says they're always looking for volunteers.
And we have several events coming up yet this year. There's dine-in events, one coming up at Shorts on the east side of Iowa City in November. We also are doing a pickleball event at Green State mid-November. And then we gift wrap in December out of the Coral Ridge Mall. All these things help to raise money for those people affected.
And the fundraiser ended with awards and lunch for the participants. This year alone, they've managed to raise $60,000 to donate to healthcare facilities to aid in treatment costs.
And coming up later, an Iowa soccer player who's battled through adversity, women's basketball is closing in on their season, and Hawkeyes coaches take to the podium. All that and more right after the break.
Stories occur every day, and here at DITV, we've got you covered with up-to-date news and politics.
We are anxiously waiting for those votes for not only the national election, but here in District 1.
Community members protest and stand for science.
Keeping highlights and scores with Hawkeye Sports.
Advancing to the quarterfinals, Iowa looks to boost their overall placement and their way into the semis.
It's Iowa's second road win of the season, first since September 21st.
And of course, all the latest in entertainment.
Sit back, relax, and here's the word on the street. I'm here at the Alan McVeigh Theater where a unique performance.
Here at DITV, we've got a crew bringing you all the stories from across the nation and right here in your backyard.
From the Iowa State Fair.
In Nashville, Tennessee.
From downtown Iowa City. From Carver Hawkeye Arena.
And bringing all the coverage straight to you live on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. Around the University of Iowa and Iowa City community, we have the stories that matter to you here at DITV. And welcome back to DITV on this wonderful Wednesday morning.
But first, let's take a look back outside with Camilla for the forecast for the week ahead.
Well, guys, with Halloween just 2 days away, we will for sure be needing some extra coverage for this very chilly weather. Taking a look back at the Pentacrest, Friday will bring a few clouds reaching the mid-50s and dropping to the low 30s at nighttime. Our weekend will begin with sunshine as the weather will be reaching the low 50s and dropping to the low 30s. On Sunday, winds will make it feel cooler than the actual temperature, with temps reaching the high 50s and dropping to the 40 degrees at night. Don't expect any rain showers as we start a new week with temperatures in the low 60s during the day and a low in the mid-30s Monday night. Lastly, Tuesday will be a generally sunny day, reaching a high in the low 60s and dropping to the 40s at the end of the day. Things are for sure getting colder and colder here in Iowa City as we approach the month of November. I don't know about you guys, but I will still be wearing my costumes as planned with no modifications. That's it for now. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Cammie. And Karch, give us the full sports rundown for this week.
Although it was a great season for the Iowa soccer team, one redshirt freshman, Abby Warner, has been stuck on the sideline. DITV's Cole Krieger has the story of Abby's year-long journey through the recovery and the hurdles that have come with it.
380 days ago, Abby Warner's journey to recovery began right here in the athletic training room here at the Iowa Soccer Complex. Little did Abby know that her journey would be met with extra hurdles. It was October 14th, 2024, when Abby Warner went down in practice with a knee injury. Testing showed immediately that Abby had torn her anterior cruciate ligament, or as it's more commonly known, her ACL.
We did a Lockman's test, which is like the one that distinguishes ACLs from the rest of the ligaments, and it was very positive.
I was just like in shock. I guess I was like screaming, no, 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 why me?
17 days later on Halloween, Abby underwent surgery to repair that torn ligament. What followed, Abby described as some of the toughest moments of her life.
It affected me big time. I struggled, like I didn't travel or play, so I was already kind of struggling with that mentally. And coming into college, like I've never really been injured for more than 2 weeks.
Doctors used a piece of Abby's patellar tendon to replace her torn ligament. This is known as a patellar tendon graft. It takes
bones from the patella and the tibia, and including the patellar tendon muscle, to drive through and replace the torn ligament. This then acts as the ACL post-surgery.
But just as Abby was getting back to full strength, she was diagnosed with another injury.
Abby had a little issue with her patellar tendon, so we went back in and kind of cleaned that up. We had a little issue with like trying to load that leg and trying to put full trust in it, and when you don't load it right away, the tendon doesn't get trained, and so you have some, or you can get some scar tissue that grows on it.
Due to the scar tissue, Abby was forced to go under another procedure to clean up her knee, forcing another setback.
Yeah, the surgery was rough. There's a lot of things that go into it and a lot of pain, and so I think for me, like, the biggest thing mentally was like I wasn't able to do stuff on my own.
In the midst of this all, Abby has kept a positive outlook. A quick Google search will lead you to her Twitter page and then a WordPress site, highlighting her journey as an athlete in recovery.
There's a lot of behind the scenes when you're an injured athlete, and so it's really like difficult and kind of lonely. So I thought of just making a page for like injured athletes that could go and feel less alone.
Through all the ups and downs, Abby has leaned on her family, her teammates, her coaches, and her faith to keep her moving forward.
They have shown me that no matter what happens, even if I'm an injured teammate, like they value me as a friend and not just a teammate. And my coaches are great. Like they have done everything they possibly can to get me back on the field. I mean, they still believe in me, are still pushing me to get better.
Now towards the end of her redshirt freshman season, Abby expressed her gratitude towards her journey and how she feels that she's grown as a person outside of just soccer.
Like a lot of things we take for granted, and like even being on the team as an injured athlete, it's a gift. And so I think like that really changed like how I view life, is like everything that I get here, everything that I've gotten in the past is truly a gift.
While the journey has certainly been tough and full of mental and physical challenges, it's only a matter of time until Abby Warner is back out here on the pitch at the Iowa Soccer Complex, chasing her dreams of becoming a professional soccer player. From the Iowa Soccer Complex here at the University of Iowa, Cole Krieger, DITV Sports.
Terrific story, Cole. And the Iowa women's basketball team is taking the court for the last time before their season opener. The Hawks will take on the Ashland Eagles in an exhibition match tomorrow night, giving head coach Jan Jensen one last chance to look at her team in action before their season opener against Southern. Jensen's squad lost some key contributors from last season, but with players like Hannah Stolke returning and freshmen coming in like Addie Deal, she thinks this team can compete and make a deep tournament run. Tip-off is set for 6:30 p.m. at Carver. Took to the podiums yesterday afternoon to give a little insight heading into their bye week. Defensive coordinator Phil Parker raved about how proud he was of his defense, which ranks second in the country in yards allowed.
You know, the takeaway have gone up a little bit in the last 3 games, which I think is a good benefit of our kids working hard.
The Hawks have found their groove and are coming off a 41-3 blowout win over Minnesota and have won their last 3. Although they have been winning, coaches are making it a point to make sure their players keep working to get better.
This is our week. Older guys get to rest a little bit, still hopefully do some individual and get a little bit sharper on the things that we're working on.
At times I think we've been dominant, and there's times also where there's a play here, a player there, something that we could just be a little bit better.
Well, the Hawks take on the 6th-ranked Oregon Ducks in 2 weeks, but with both teams headed into a bye, coaches are looking to get any advantage they can.
That's right, and although we have a bye week with outdoor football, we're going to send it back outside with Cammie to get the full rundown for the weather for the rest of the week.
Well, you guys are in luck because I have all the answers to your questions. Although Hurricane Melissa is not expected to directly affect us here in Iowa City, hurricanes still bring some effects in the next week. As hurricanes move north and weaken, the remains can bring heavy rain or thunderstorms to the central U.S. Depending on the storm's path, Iowa City could experience humidity or localized flooding several days later. Avoid low-lying areas near the Iowa River or Ralston Creek, which can flood quickly. Keep a small supply of water, snacks, and basic first aid items, as well as handy flashlights, while remembering to keep your electronics charged. Hopefully, by the time Melissa moves into land, she won't be more than some rain showers. And remember, if severe weather does make its way to Iowa City, the Hawk Alert system and the DITV will keep you informed.
Thanks, Cammie, for that rundown. And hopefully we're looking to see a little bit more better weather for the rest of the week ahead.
Yeah, and I'm super excited. And hopefully I cannot end the show without saying that today is a very special day, and not just because it is 2 days until Halloween, but our very own arts and culture director, Grace, it's her birthday, 21.
Thanks, guys.
All of us here at DITV are wishing you happy birthday, Grace.
Thank you guys so much. Yes, I am officially 21, which is very, very exciting. But thank you guys so much for joining us online or listening on KRUI 89.7 FM.
We're here live from Iowa City every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. or online at anywhere at dailyiowan.com.
For Camila Munez, I'm Cart Smith.
And for Ryan Lynch, I'm Grace Lathrop, and for Liz Schultz, and we'll see you next time on Friday. Coming up, a time warp to the Angler for a fun-filled screening.
And our review of a new movie, Born in the USA.
So sit back,
relax,
and here's the word on the street. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Word on the Street. I'm Grace Lathrop.
And I'm Hannah Fideli, and we are so excited to share with you that this year marks the 50th anniversary of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, one of the most iconic Halloween films of all time. And Grace, I know you have a rundown for us, so let's hear it.
I sure do, and yes, thank you, Hannah. That is right. It is the 50th anniversary, which is a huge deal, if you ask me. 50 years is a long time. And this film is described as a cult classic, but when it was released in 1975, it really wasn't received all that well.
No.
It was actually considered a total flop and was just a little too weird for its time. Some theaters even pulled it because audiences were so appalled by its themes, and critics called it over the top and just confusing. However, the film took a total turn in 1976 when theaters started showing it at midnight, and this quickly became a trend, and even today theaters are showing the movie at midnight and fans are coming dressed up as the characters, creating a whole cult phenomenon. Now, it is one of the most successful films of all time, and it's so quite the crazy turnaround for the movie itself. And Rocky Horror talks a lot about sexual themes, like the main character, Dr. Frankenfurter, being a transgender man who is celebrated for his fluidity and flamboyance in the movie. There's also a couple musical numbers, which in my opinion are a little bit campy, but are now so catchy and everybody knows them. Complete showstoppers that most people just know by heart. And also this movie provoked much audience participation where fans can be engaged with props and dressing up during viewings. And speaking of, DITV's Morgan Brands got to see one of these screenings and is here to tell us more about it. So Morgan, take it away.
Thanks, Hannah and Grace. And as you guys said, the Rocky Horror Picture Show is a flop-turned phenomenon. Just this last Saturday, they celebrated their 50th year right here at the Angler Theater. And lucky me, I was able to secure a spot at the sold-out show. And let me tell you, Iowa City showed up with tons of energy. It was an awesome experience seeing lifelong fans of the show merge with the new fans. Throughout the show, the audience used props like newspapers, water guns, party horns, and balloons. All of the props matched with a certain part of the film. I unfortunately did not get a prop bag, but it would have been super fun to follow along. The show thrives off of audience participation. Longtime fans yell call-outs throughout the show to make it funnier. These lines are normally witty, sarcastic, and respond to the show's original scripted lines. And for the new fans, there are even scripts you can search on Google to know what to call out during the show. Looking back, I definitely needed some studying on those scripts because boy was the audience prepared. They knew exactly what to say at the perfect time. And most of all, it was super cool to see the audience come to life and enjoy such a fun night. One of my favorite parts of the show is the community it has created. As Grace mentioned before, the theme celebrates sexual liberation and individuality. At the time it was released, it received lots of negative pushback for its controversial opinions. The decision to air the show at midnight brought a whole new audience to celebrate these themes. Many people say this show has created a home for them to share their gender fluidity and self-expression. I could definitely see the sense of community represented at the Iowa City show. Everyone celebrated the long history of the show in fun costumes and was overall happy to be there. And speaking of costumes, Annika, how did the Victoria's Secret fashion show go?
It was incredible. And you know, Morgan, I'm so jealous you got to go. I love going to classic shows. And speaking about them, I wanted to talk a little bit about the recent 2025 Victoria's Secret fashion show. It was a little over 2 weeks ago in Brooklyn, New York, and there's been a lot of controversy over the brand in previous years. But I think the way they've grown as a company is really interesting. Many refer to the show as the Super Bowl of fashion, and I have to agree, I love over-the-top things. I think how the brand is refocusing itself to be more inclusive is reshaping how people see beauty. And there were models of all different body types this year, but not only this, models who made it themselves, like Quinn Blackwell, and models who are WNBA stars, like Angel Reese. Angel Reese said in a quote, "It's also for the young girls that look up to me and to know that they should continue to dream big," which is a message that I don't think a lot of people get out of these shows.
For the full episode, visit thedailyiowan.com or the YouTube page.
When you see